Good afternoon. Here we are speaking from Leticia, Amazonas. We are here together with Abel Santos, who is a Ticuna man, Maguita man from the Amazonas. Alejandro Prieto, who is a student of our PhD program. Also part of our team is Elio Miraña, who is not currently here, but a little later we'll see a little video recorded by him. What we intend to do here is just to let you know an initiative we have been carrying out at a very small scale, but with a profound, really an important impact for indigenous peoples using the tools of digital archives. Yes. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Alejandro. I'm, as the professor said, a PhD student here in Indigenous. I've been helping Abel Santos in digitalizing, gathering these materials that he had recorded 15 years ago, and so on. And well, hello to everybody.
Mi nombre es Abel Santos, del pueblo Miraña. De los audios que se tienen son grabados por los abuelos, que hoy no me acompañan, pero hay muchas instancias. Solamente para presentarme, pues, es nuestra iniciativa, tiene mucho camino que recorrer.
Okay, here is a sketch of our intervention. And we begin just by saying that the recordings of Amerindian languages available in open access are mostly stored in digital archives in Europe, the USA, and some of the American countries. Just a quick overview. You see the language archive in California, the ARDILIA in Texas, Endangered Language Archive, Pangloss, which is a Lacito in France, and Dobes in Netherlands. Also in Latin America, we have, well, the oldest one is the Museo Goethe, who has archives since the 1960s. This Aline in Mexico, mostly from Mexican languages. The Pontificia Universidad Católica del Perú also has a nice digital archive. And Museo do Índio in Brazil has the project documentation of indigenous language. And this one in Ecuador is an archive which is not open access, but we have a record register here because they have also interesting materials. We created this archive because we are aware that from all the recordings made since the 1960s, perhaps, with the advent of cassette recording and then digital recording, there are many archives which are in private hands, or except those archived in Europe. So we found that we have, Abel had, and Elio had, and myself, and other colleagues have important recordings from decade-long recordings, which are just kept in boxes, houses. And so we created the archive with the idea to have an archive here in Latin America at the center of the Amazon, and to make them available to the people themselves for projects of language and cultural revitalization processes.
I wanna add that, as I have said, most of the recordings we have uploaded, these recordings were not recorded by us. Abuelos, providers, their own indigenous communities, and they recorded these materials, and most of our work has been uploaded and socialized, digitalized these materials in order to make them viable. Okay,
That's true. We'll show a little detail about that. So here's an overview of the current collections. The Maguta and Miraña collections are the first ones. I will speak a little bit about that. Then Muru, those were recordings I myself made in the 90s. Huamonai collection is a collection donated by late French Canadian anthropologist Bernard Arcan. Acarijona is the result of the work of a group of students and teachers in Bogota. So, the Maguta collection is precisely one of the things that Alejandro was mentioning. You have to talk about it.
Yes. Museo Etnográfico Maguta de Moncagua is a museum of the Santos. This museum, Abel Santos gathered like 200 cassettes from the 90s, 89, 2000s, his own materials, and they were in cassettes. So our work in 2023 was mainly digitalize these cassettes, clean the cassettes, to know what was going on in these cassettes and to our siguiente expedition.
Yeah.
Nuestro trabajo era como volver a contactar a los abuelos que grabaron nuestros cassettes, conversar con ellos, cuál fue su pensamiento, su iniciativa, también como cuál era toda esa historia de fortalecimiento cultural para la propia palabra Maguta. Fueron esos abuelos los que iniciaron un camino de pensamiento para la educación de futuras generaciones. Y justamente el profesor Abel Santos fue el que guardó todos los cassettes y con su ayuda estamos en proceso de poner todos estos materiales de nuevo al servicio de la comunidad. Entonces,
Yes, there was a number of recordings that were made by the indigenous teachers themselves, meant to have materials for the childhood, and they were in risk of deteriorating and disappearing. So we're in the process of recuperating, restoring the cassettes, and digitalizing. In the archive, there is also like a third there, and we are in the process of finishing them. Also about Maguta, Alejandro himself made this collection just recently about the lullaby songs, which is very nice. Here's a little cartilla that came out that, which is very nice. Yeah, it was distributed free to the communities. The second collection is Nebaguaco collection. Elio, who is on the picture, who will show briefly a little video he recorded. This.
Javanea mua. Miraña y Metzaciene y Pañetene Caneme y Vai. TNG Universidad Nacional de Colombia, sede Amazonía 2023 Pisca Barine Baguasco Guaquimei Techiupica Mei. Cheeri Aguare Meiscane Iñu, Maxi Añeri Guañe Añeri Medriba Soki, Meimihu Soki. Miraña y Nepaje Guajaquis Cane y Miñeme Picoi. Benes Pibenes Menemupeji. Ayuh, Guayque Meisca.
Para el pueblo Miraña Bora, la planta medicinal juega un papel muy importante.
Sorry. Okay. So this is an important collection because it was recorded by Elio Miraña's uncle, Nebaguaco. And these cassettes were kept in very difficult conditions for many, many years. And Elio is working on not only on restoring them, but also transcribing and using this knowledge ahead. The third collection is Muri. We have several sub-collections. is that the two first from the left are a result of my own work among the Burui, the 90s, and the others have been retrieved from other researchers on indigenous person. This one, it was an indigenous woman who worked with this singer. Both are dead right now. So they have 137 songs, ritual chants. Okay, so a little overview of our view on this curation. We'll see. We mean that the objects we keep are not merely digital objects that you have to curate with metadata and archiving procedures, but they represent, they contain spiritual force. So precisely as Abel has said for the Museo Maguta, you create a museum with physical objects, that it needs also spiritual healing maintenance, because they carry force. And it implies a responsibility for the spiritual energy that is materialized in those objects and requiring curation process. And also, because those materials were made with the intention of serving future generations. And so we are honoring, this intention. So our cabinet for typology studies also could be used, but we mean then to be used the people themselves. And our archive is not ambitious. We don't pretend to fill out all the languages of the Amazon. So slowly, by personal contacts and carefully evaluated, we incorporate collections. And so we say more than authors. The question of ownership and all that. We know that, for instance, in Colombian law, cultural expressions of indigenous peoples are not protected by copyright and considered in the public domain. But, and this is common to many countries in the world, and the options open to people are for the concept of collective intellectual property, which becomes the same issue, in the ownership or public domain. So we rather think that more than authors, these narratives have owners, spiritual masters. And the notion of spiritual ownership is very closely linked to the notion of taking care.
Yes, we know that in the moment we upload an audio in our archive or in Elio other archive, that audio enters the domain and logics of copyright, economy, legal aspects, and so on. But in another sense, owner is more than copyright. In the sense that owner, dueño in Spanish, or dono in Portuguese, is a crucial concept for Amazonian indigenous spirituality. An owner protects his species. En Spanish. Uno tiene que establecer una relación buena, saludable, negociar con el dueño de una planta, con la especie, con los dueños del territorio. In this sense, songs and stories have an owner, and we know, for example, in our archive there is no shamanism, because that kind of audio service and stories are pensado, and they carry a lot of we need to establish a healthy relationship, not only for the audios, but for the owners of the songs and the stories.
So it covers a responsibility that goes beyond just taking care of digital objects. And that's why we created here a laboratory, the laboratory of languages and the symmetrical dialogue, that we deal with the archive in symmetrical dialogue with the peoples. So our ethical political principles, more or less outlined, we have already spoken about them, but was recovering, documenting, and making accessible educational archives of indigenous peoples, just to make them available. We work on the social appropriation of language archives to support living memory processes. This is our imperative. And a publication ethics based on symmetrical dialogue. We can speak more about this. I don't know how much time we have. Okay, so we are just briefly referred to our future perspective. So we'll continue working on building this archive. We have been lucky to have the digital institutional digital infrastructure of the Universidad Nacional de Colombia, which guarantees that it is supported, is stable, and will be permanent. This is a very important step that the Universidad Nacional has taken. But then, to maintain the human capacity, and we need that these efforts can be assumed institutionally by the country. Meanwhile, we work on this. We are working on two initiatives. One is to create a digital platform, which is not an archive, but a platform that aggregates audio recorded from any Amerindian language, harvesting metadata from wherever, and so to make them available to the people. So we know, for instance, that Maguta, for instance, we have in our archive, but California has also Maguta Ticuna material. So we just gather the metadata and represent it in one place, and we speak about the language too. And we speak about the person. We are currently working with that platform, which we have called Etane, which is a name that Abel, Santos' father, gave to our little Maloca. And Etane means something bright that elevates itself and expands and attracts. So it means, in other words, means the level of the stars. So this name gives us a guidance. Okay, thank you very much.